Thinking of settling in Australia permanently? Let's break down one of the most popular and powerful pathway, the General Skill Migration Program, or commonly known as the GSM, and see how you can qualify for a PR without a job sponsorship. Hi friends, I'm Kareem Charania, a qualified immigration consultant for Australia, Canada and New Zealand. In today's video, I'll explain Australia's GSM program step by step. What is a GSM program? The General Skill Migration Program allows skilled professionals from around the world to apply for Australian permanent residency without needing an employer sponsor. If you are someone outside Australia and planning to work and settle permanently here are the best visa categories you can apply to immigrate to Australia permanently. First is the Subclass 189, also known as Skilled Independent Visa. Second is Subclass 190, known as Skilled Nominated Visa. And finally, the Subclass 491, known as Skilled Work Regional Provisional Visa. Please note, this is not a permanent visa. We will understand what is a provisional visa later in this video. Don't worry, we will cover all the fine lines so you can make an informed decision. First, let's understand how the point system works. The General Skill Migration Program is a point-based visa program. The Australian Visa Department doesn't interview candidates to decide whom they would want to grant the visa to. Rather, they have designed a point-based visa and each candidate can claim points for their profile, making it fair and transparent to each candidate who have applied. Now, all these candidates who are interested to immigrate to Australia need to submit an EOI. EOI stands for Expression of Interest. In layman's word, EOI is a pool where all candidates' profiles are entered and ranked by the system. And then the government can pick candidates in the following orders. Candidates who have scored highest points, candidates whose skills are high in demand such as healthcare professionals, engineers or construction professionals, candidates who are sponsored by eligible family members who are settled in Australia, candidates who have received a state nomination. To be eligible for a visa, a candidate must score a minimum of 65 points, but high score means chance of receiving the visa faster. Here is a chart that shows you how the points are calculated. From the table, you can see maximum points a candidate can score for their age is 30 points. You can get points for English language communication skills. To do this, you need to take an English language proficiency test like an IELTS or a PTE. If you get a score of proficient, you can get 10 points, and if you get a score of a superior, you can get 20 points towards your English language ability. The reason you have to take an English language test is to make sure you can communicate well and use it at work. Since you will be moving to an English speaking country, you should be able to speak English fluently, as this will help you to integrate in the community. You can also claim points for your work experience. Points can be claimed for your work experience in your home country or in Australian work experience if any. In addition to that, you can claim points for your education such as diploma, bachelor's, master's or a PhD degree. If you're married, you can claim points for your partner's skills and English fluency. There are a few other areas where you can claim bonus points. This way, you need to accumulate points and get minimum of 65 points to qualify. Here are the 4 key things you need to remember when applying for a GSM visa. First, you need to aim higher than 65 points. More point means your application will be shortlisted faster and you will quickly qualify. Another important aspect is to stay consistent. For example, your work experience should match your qualifications. For instance, if you have studied electrical engineering, your job should be in that field. Unrelated roles will usually not be counted. Third, to boost your scores, you really need to do well in your English exams. Superior English, which is an 8 band in IELTS, can help you to significantly improve your ranking. Finally, and most importantly, you need to work with a licensed consultant. An authorized agent ensures your documents are accurate and help you to represent your application, avoiding costly mistakes and delays. Here is a quick visa breakdown. First is the Subclass 189 Independent Visa. This is the most desired visa. It allows you to become a permanent resident from day one and there are no restrictions on your stay. This means you can decide which city you wish to stay and work in. But let me tell you, this is the most competitive visa as there are limited spots available. To apply for this visa, you have to be mindful of the followings. First, your occupation must be on the MLTSSL list. Usually, candidates with 85 to 95 points are shortlisted. This visa allows you to live and work anywhere in Australia. You can access Medicare, study, and even apply for a citizenship after 4 years. Second is the Subclass 190 Skilled Nominated Visa. This is also a permanent residency visa, but you require a nomination from a state or a territory government, known as a state nomination. In Australia, there are 8 states, and each of these states have demand for different set of skills depending upon their economy and natural resources. For example, a mining engineer are high in demand in states such as Western Australia, Queensland, and South Australia. Similarly, IT engineers are high in demand in states such as New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia. If the state have demand for your skills, then they will be willing to offer you a nomination, which means they will offer you 5 bonus points and a PR visa to Australia. But this comes with a condition that once your PR visa is granted, you will need to work and stay in the state that has sponsored you for the first 2 years. And finally is the Subclass 490. To apply for this visa, you need to check each state's requirement. You must commit to living and working in the state for at least 2 years. And after 4 years of total stay in Australia, you can apply for a citizenship. And finally, the Subclass 491 Skilled Regional Provisional Visa. This is a 5-year provisional visa, but it's actually a strategic pathway to obtain your Australian permanent residency. You must live and work in regional area, which include Tier 2 cities in Australia such as Adelaide, Canberra, Newcastle, Hobart, and so on. Here is a quick recap. 189 is the best PR visa, but very competitive, as there are more people who want to apply, but spaces are limited, as this visa allows you to stay anywhere in Australia. 190 is also a PR visa, but it requires one of the 8 states in Australia to sponsor you. And in response, you have to make a commitment of staying and working there for the first 2 years. Coming to 491, this is a temporary pathway to a permanent residency. It allows you 15 bonus points, and it comes with a condition. During your initial 3 years, you have to commit of staying in regional Australia. So whether you're targeting the 189 for a complete freedom, the 190 for a state support, or 491 for a strategic regional route, the General Skill Migration Program remains one of the best and most transparent ways to achieve your Australian dreams. If you're planning to immigrate abroad, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.